director of the Black Action Network in Los Angeles, is urging calm.
Let's not rush to judgment. Let the investigation take its course and lead us to wherever it may lead us to, because at the end of the day, we don't want to send out false information to the community.
The man's family wants to know why tasers were not used instead of guns to stop him. A couple of New York lawmakers want the federal government to give the states access to the no-fly list so they can better track gun purchases.
Governor Andrew Cuomo says if the feds won't block people on their own terror watch list from buying guns, he will.
It is sheer madness what we are doing now. You can be a suspected terrorist, and it is not illegal to possess a firearm.
Senator Charles Schumer says there are ways to grant states access.
There are a number of different choices without compromising the terrorist watch list.
Schumer says the Justice Department is looking over his request. Julie Walker, New York.
For the first time in history, women have been elected to local government seats in Saudi Arabia. The women who won were from vastly different parts of the country, ranging from Saudi Arabia's largest city to a small village near Islam's holiest site. Meanwhile, the anti-immigrant National Front has been routed in regional election runoffs in France, despite dominating the first-round vote. This is AP Radio News.
Your favorite progressive voices: Bill Press, Stephanie Miller, Tom Hartman, Norman Goldman, Amy Goodman, and Alan Combs, all on one station. This is 820 AM WCPT Willow Springs, 92.5 WCPT FM DeKalb, 92.7 FM WCPY Arlington Heights, 99.9 FM WCPQ Park Forest, and streaming worldwide at chicagosprogressivetalk.com. This is Chicago's Progressive Talk.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualityoflifeinsurance.com.
Quality of life means health and peace of mind. Quality of life insurance means protecting your family if you die, but it can also provide income if you suffer a serious illness or injury and need financial help to maintain your lifestyle.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
The Howard University online EMBA is tailor-made for busy professionals seeking a competitive edge in business and government organizations. Their 18-month program also connects you through their elite networking and professional development events, including an optional trip to China. For more information, go to howardemba.com.
Are you looking for the best residential and commercial laundry service in the Chicagoland area? Then you want PleaseDoMyLaundry.com. That's PleaseDoMyLaundry.com.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WCPT, Newsweb Radio Company, or its affiliates.
Hey, Chicago, this is motivational speaker and author William A. Edie II, author of the book Listen If You Want to Succeed, and I listen to The Family Meeting.
This is Melanie Martin Ware, Howard University alumni, class of 1990. I listen to The Family Meeting.
Yep, and indeed, it's family meeting time. Welcome to the broadcast. I am your host, Eric Grant, along with He Just Wandered In, my favorite quotation idiom master, my man, Robert Orr. What's up, man?
E. Grant, what's up, man? How you doing?
I changed my mind, man. I think I still do want that sweatshirt from last week, that Jordan joint.
Oh, yeah.
When I was driving away last week, I was like, I think I want that joint.
I got you, man. You can have that one.
Really?
Yeah, I'm serious. I'll get it to you.
If you wasn't a brother, I'd kiss you on the mouth, man.
Hey, no, you ain't gonna do that.
I know, I'm not. You're right.
No, you're not gonna do that.
I thought I'd let you know.
This is it. We cool, but we're not that cool.
No, we ain't that cool. No. I might just give you a good, happy look on my face.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah, happy
look.
look.
That's what the suggestion was. You're happy.
Okay, let's leave it alone now. We done moved on and that thing got nasty. That's Rob, the idiom master, in the space shuttle cockpit, controlling everything. As always, my favorite girl, Lady B. You can email us at info@TFM Radio Show. We're all over social media, as usual. On Facebook at The Family Meeting Radio. On Twitter, because we're what, Rob?
Twits.
At TFM Radio Show. And by the way, I've been reading my tweets this week.
Have you?
I have.
That's the first.
Yeah, it is. I can't keep up with that stuff, but I've been reading tweets this week, and thank you for that. We're on Google Plus, and we're actually streaming live once again on Google Hangouts on our YouTube channel, The Family Meeting on YouTube. And okay, that's all the places we are, right?
I ain't heard that in a while. My grandmother used to say
that. I know, that's Mississippi.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, The family meeting is sponsored by the Polaris Insurance Agency. That's life insurance you don't have to die to use. Visit polarisadvice.com. So, as usual, one hell of a week.
Really?
One hell of a week.
Yeah.
Starting with the Supreme Court Justice Scalia. Did you see his comments?
No.
I'm sure Arlene will talk. Did you see that, Arlene?
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that too. And there'll be a piece on our news today about Antonin Scalia.
Oh, yeah.
What's he, like 200 years old now? He must be old as the damn Constitution. He old, man. Anyway, he said what he said this week. We'll get to that. There's more protests all week long.
Yeah.
I was feeling some kind of way, man. Like I want to get out there with
Proud. Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't nobody acting, well, they acted a fool a little bit. They tore up a couple of things. But no real damage per se.
Yeah.
I've seen people complaining about the disruption. What the hell you think a protest is but disruption?
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be. The original March on Washington was actually supposed to be a big disruption. They were talking about going out and landing at National Airport on the runways and stopping the flights until it got infiltrated and, things happen like that. But nonetheless, protests are going on.
I'm proud of that protest. I'm proud. I'm real proud of it.
You didn't get out there, did you?
No, I'm tempted to. I was tempted to be honest with you.
Me too. Because I was downtown this weekend. I thought, okay, I'm close. Going down there and see if I can just, maybe they'll bust the window. I get something free.
Something like you want to be a looter.
No, I didn't say that now.
That's kind of what
I'm a survivor. That's what they call the white folks who steal things, survivors.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
That's funny.
It is, yeah. So that voice you hear, that voice, Arlene was telling me earlier, she wishes she had gone into broadcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I do.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do. And Eric was telling me that there's still time.
Absolutely.
I can still do that.
If we can do it, you can do it.
I know.
Because we have no talent.
Absolutely none. Not at all.
So we'll see how it goes today.
I worry about people who listen to this broadcast. Like, don't you have anything better to do? Really? You listen to this?
You're dispelling some knowledge here.
No, I ain't doing much of that. Much knowledge coming out of this joint. But plenty of conversation. Plenty of conversation. That's Arlene Coleman. She is a Spelman grad. Baby girl will be happy to hear about that. She went to Spelman for undergrad. Started off at Russ College. I'm going to give you that.
Thank you.
At Holly Springs, Mississippi. Mississippi. That's right. They just left a whole set of S's out. Mississippi. She's from, and you're from Chicago.
I am from Chicago. Both of my parents are from Mississippi.
Okay, that's good. My daddy's from Mississippi.
A lot of us are.
My mom's from Mississippi.
Yours from Mississippi too?
Yeah, my mom is.
Kumbaya.
We are connected.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Family. Might be family. Never
Right.
know.
And that ain't Mississippi, California either. That's Mississippi, Mississippi.
That's
Jackson. Jackson, Mississippi. I think that's where my family from.
Really?
My mom is. Yeah.
So they ain't from the country. They're from the city.
Jackson is city.
Yeah. You never been down there before?
No, I haven't.
You ain't missing nothing. Nothing in
That's
Mississippi,
crazy,
man.
Eric.
Yeah, listen,
That's crazy. Eric.
Arlene was down there going to Russ for a minute, and she's like, I can't do this. She got out of right.
This is true. I had to leave.
Right. Get out of Mississippi, man.
It wasn't the place for me.
Right. That's well put.
Well,
they still mad about the war, aren't they?
They are still mad about the war. Yeah. Although, you know what? There has been some progression there. And I'm aware
Stop that. Really?
They've had a black mayor, although he
black mayor.
Yes. Although he died. And, in Jackson, there was
in the whole state, Arlene, they had a black mayor in the whole
state.
state.
They've had many black mayors. But you...
Keep trying.
You look at what happened after Reconstruction in Mississippi. There was a concerted effort to say, we have to shut this down. We have to put these people of color in their place. That's not what they called it.
But they are last in healthcare, last in education, and last just about every other really relevant. I'm just saying. You might end up being dumb and sick if you're from Mississippi.
Well, you know what? That's interesting to say that because my mother, after she retired from teaching, moved back down south, but she came back to Chicago for healthcare reasons. For her and my father, she said the medical treatment down here is not what I'm accustomed to.
Yeah, because the medicine down there, rub some dirt on it. It'd be all right,
It's just not.
I pick on Mississippi, don't I?
I see.
And
you
Kentucky.
should not do that.
You pick on Kentucky also.
Kentucky, yeah. Oh, Snagger too. Yeah, I pick on that. Okay. Bring it up then.
All right.
Show me something. Show me that your education system works better than what the statistics say it does. Show me that your health care.
In terms of the educational system, there's a very strong alum here from Russ College. The Russ College
They're
alum.
here.
They are in Chicago.
Right, because they got the hell out of Mississippi. That's why they're here. Right.
But they were educated in Mississippi.
And got the hell out. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Right. All right. The number is 773-763-9278. That's Arlene Coleman. I didn't give her a proper introduction. Spelman grad.
Right.
She went to IIT Kent for law school. She's the what title do you carry for your firm? Proprietor, principal? What do you carry?
Principal.
Principal at Arlene Y.
At
Coleman.
A.Y. Coleman and Associates.
And associates. How many associates? Just you, right?
It varies. It varies. And but I'm also a managing partner in the law firm of Coleman and Brown. So I do have a partner.
Oh, you got 2 jobs.
I do have I have many jobs.
You sure you're from Jamaica? Not
sometimes I
Mississippi,
wonder about that.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
Jamaica. I think I have some of those roots too.
Ayama.
Ayama.
Yeah. And she happens to be the president of the Cook County Bar Association.
Currently, yes.
Are you getting ready to get rid of you? What?
No. I think they're going to keep me for at least my term ends in June, but
Okay.
I am the current president of the Cook County Bar Association, which is the oldest association of African American lawyers and judges in this country. We were the first Black bar association.
Thank you. Thank you.
Over 100 years ago.
101, I think.
Yes, I am yes, this is the 101st year. I'm not the 101st president
I was
because
gonna say.
a couple of
And you
people,
ain't been around for 101 years either. No, I didn't think so.
but the spirit is
Right.
The spirit is there.
So you guys took a position on all of this stupidity going on in the state's attorney's office and with the mayor and so forth.
Yes.
That's how I became aware of Arlene from that statement.
Yes.
And so, what's your position? Everybody stupid? What's your position?
No, it's not that everyone is stupid, but I think
They are
that,
though. They are.
Well,
You can't say that, but I will. I'll say it for you. I'm Arlene's anger translator. Go ahead. I'll translate for you.
well, you know what? Basically, my position and our position is racism and politics are kind of at the center of all of this that's going on.
You think?
I do, but I also think that this matter has many tentacles. It's many heads to it, and it's a very deep root that's going to take time to eradicate. It's not going to happen. So what I've tried not to do let me say what the bar is doing. Some of us have protested with various groups. Were you
out there with them? Blocking the traffic?
I did not block traffic, but I did march with some of the younger people
Okay.
on Michigan Avenue. And actually the first night that the video was released, I was talking with one of my members and I saw them walking by on, I think we were on Congress. And I said, oh, here they are. I jumped out of my car and ran, caught up with them. And it was really amazing to be out there. You know, I know some things are being depicted in the media that shows that there's some disruption, and there is some disruption. As you said, that is the nature of protest. But for the most part, I'm very proud and pleased with the way that Black people have demonstrated. We should be outraged at the breach of public trust, the games that are being played, and it's just amazing.
So what do you say to the people who say, well, why weren't you protesting when there was, and I hate to use this term because I know it's not accurate. You know where I'm going.
Not sure where you're
With black on black crime. Even though we know there's no such thing as black on black crime. The question is always posed. Okay, where were you? Why weren't you disrupting and so forth when that was going on?
See, I think that's a
setup
distraction.
question, by the way.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's beside the point. There's black on black crime. There's white on white crime. There's white on black crime.
There's no such thing as white on black,
you know,
white on white. It's crime.
It's
Yeah,
crime.
all crime.
And so to people who kind of go there, I just want to tell them, you know, let's focus on this situation where we are aware of police officers who we as taxpayers pay to protect us. And don't get me, I want to put this out there. I know all officers are not.
Don't put it out there.
You know, to me that goes without saying, but I'll say it since we have a listening audience.
But that applies to every group of people.
Absolutely.
There's good and bad of every group of people. So you don't have to say that for police
Okay,
officers.
all right. So you know what we're aware of is that police officers are shooting Black people, unarmed, in the back, under circumstances that are questionable. You know, I always wonder, why does the force have to be deadly? Can't be shot somewhere else on their body? If you run and shoot them in the leg.
Shot. You know, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So
let me ask you this though, because the video is what it is, and the exercise is always the same. They're going to go about the business of trying to show us that we didn't see what we saw. I'm not going for that okey doke.
Nobody is.
No, like this the most recent one where the cop shot the guy in the back running into the park. Right? Don't tell me he could have shot somebody with that gun, because then if that's the case, you should be shooting me now, because I could shoot somebody with a gun someday. That don't make any damn sense. Yeah. But isn't it illegal to file a false police report?
Well, there are two things, and there's a legal side to it in terms of perjury and how that report is used. But within the police department, they have rules and regulations, policies regarding a code of conduct. So it's a violation of the police department rules and regulations to file a false report, which warrants disciplinary action. If it goes to another level in terms of being criminal, that's something that the state's attorney's office has to look at. If they want to if these statements if false statements are made in court or something, that's perjury. And you know, that's how they got John Burge, because he lied in court. They were not the criminal justice system wasn't able to convict him for the crimes against the men that were tortured under his regime. But he lied about it, and that's how he got to go to jail. So I imagine, you know, I think there's an opportunity for these officers to get on the right side of justice and truth.
It's not illegal. It's not criminal to file a report that says something other than what we now see on the videotape.
When you say file a report, you mean the paperwork that the police officers fill out?
Okay. Yes, we'll go with that.
Okay, let's go with that.
Is there another kind of report?
Well, they have internal reports that they have to prepare. And there's no, it's a lie. So there's no law.
So they can say whatever they want to on those.
Well, we want them to say the truth. The objective is they're supposed to speak the truth. But when, my disclaimer, I'm not a criminal lawyer, and that's a specialized area.
Yeah, go ahead and back away. I hear you. Go ahead, back away now.
But from a common sense, one thing about lawyers is that we're logical and common sense. And
is that right?
That we try to be.
Did you hear her say that?
Yeah. I mean, we try to come look at things from a logic.
Anita Alvarez ain't logical.
What? I don't know her personally.
Yeah, but you've seen her clown act. You've seen that.
Yes, I have.
Right. I'll say it for you.
It's very interesting. It's a very interesting.
Is that the term you use?
Perspective. I mean, you know, we don't even have to look at her. We can look at the statistics. We can look at that. You know, these complaints. I think I saw somewhere that, you know, over 400 complaints against police officers. We've only had 2 instances where criminal charges have been lodged.
That is statistically impossible.
It is. It doesn't make sense.
See, you don't make me.
Well, there's a window though. Wouldn't it be a window of interpretation that comes from a police officer when you look at some of the situations? You know, as sensitive as the subjects are, the situations we watching on video with Sandra Bland. I mean, there's it's a window of opportunity for interpretation of the police officer, how he perceives the situation. Now, the videos that are coming out are showing that perspective that they may have filed may be different from what we're seeing.
Yeah, like this police officer who shot Laquan McDonald. His attorney saying, well, videos are 2-dimensional. You can't, man, please, really?
Right. The video is giving evidence that, you know, some of these reports that were falsified from a perspective position, that police officers are really given the right to have that perspective when they're coming onto a situation.
And in the absence of video, nobody ever knows.
Nobody would never know.
Right.
You know, but what I'm saying is, like, legally, though, from that perspective that they have right there, that's what a lot of these police officers are getting off, because legalistically they have a right.
Yeah, but they're not even being charged to get off.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And to your point about perspective, the perspective must not be based on race.
Right.
That's the problem, that too many of the officers, I think, that are acting in a way that is not appropriate or necessary they're not seeing another human being. And I believe that if the person they were shooting was of a similar race as themselves, the outcome would be different.
Yeah,
I
see,
agree.
when you go there, they say there's no way you could know that, and that's true too. But we're gonna take a break. All right, 773-763-9278 is the number. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
This is Gene Marlowe with PopulusPromovio.com, the People's Choice Car Service. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Imagine a job where someone cares about you, your family, and your coworkers, and will sign a contract to that effect. That is what a union actually does for you. We've all heard the bashing, the insults, and hatred directed toward unions by powerful political elites and wealthy business bosses. For more information about your job interests, call SEIU Local 73 and ask for Tim Ball, 312-787-5868. Again, that number is 312-787-5868.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, and Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
We have products that can change your life. Really? Sound like a big promise? If you're interested in helping people while you make a better life for your own family, then listen carefully. We have developed life insurance coverage that is so innovative that it's changing the way Americans think about, purchase, and use life insurance. Quality of life insurance is affordable life insurance that can protect your customers if they die, but it can also provide benefits if a policyholder gets sick or injured and survives. We are growing. If you like to help people and want to be part of an innovative company that values service and promotes a positive work-life balance, consider what we have to offer.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
The Law Office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you. Whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck.
You better call Darnell.
Had a few drinks too many? A cop hits you with a DUI or OWI?
I think you better call Darnell.
Arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony?
I think you better call Darnell.
Purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm?
I think you better call Darnell.
When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home?
I think you better call Darnell.
That's right. You better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now. 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles.
Computerized. Oh, baby. Computerized. Ah, baby. Oh, beautiful love. Computerized.
My name is Ron McCullough. Visit my website at www.advancedarmor.com. Welcome back to the Family Meeting.
773-763-9278 is the number. 773-763-9278. And so far, the phones are ringing already. So why don't we do something a little bit out of character? Take calls earlier today.
Okay.
All right. Because we don't normally get around to them this fast. Let me start with my man, Steve, from the Gold Coast. Steve, what's up, man?
Nothing much, but in this case, I think you've raised again an important topic, and it's not anything that's going to go away in the near future, given we've already got legislation that's been introduced in Springfield that would allow for a recall, possibly. Anita Alvarez, obviously, in terms of the upcoming election, this certainly casts a great deal of doubt on whether or not she's going to be able to retain that office. In short, that and this whole question about, at least as far as I'm concerned, whether or not the protest movement has legs. Can it last? Unlike, say, the protest that we saw after the collapse in 2008 and 2009, the economy and the Occupy Wall Street movement and so forth, that just sort of faded away after a certain period of time. And, we didn't see it again. So I wonder, once the cold weather sets in, we're lucky enough to be in a Chicago winter that's anything but usual given the past two winters. We're sort of lucky that this came to light.
Yeah, this is protest friendly weather.
Absolutely. I mean, imagine this a year ago. I seriously doubt there'd be many protesters out 9 below. The other day, there was a 65-degree difference between what it was a year ago and today. In terms of the weather. So to give you an idea of just how much of a change there is. And let's face it, I mean, there's a big difference between, willing to show up and protest when it's 50 degrees out versus when it's 5 below.
Yeah.
Your longevity isn't necessarily going to be there.
And, protest oftentimes is for show, and it's legitimate show, but the real protest comes at the ballot box. And that's where I want to see people begin to, activate and organize around voting.
Absolutely. And I do think that, with regard to this question of, where the focus should be, I absolutely agree with you that it is to a large extent a distraction when people talk about, why don't we talk about focusing on black on black crime or crime that defines the vast majority of that which takes lives in any community. So why aren't the protesters as willing to show up in front of the Gangster Disciple headquarters or the Latin Kings or the Vice Lords or whatnot and protest them? Because that's where 90% of the problem is in terms of lives. The distinction here that we have to make is that those are gangs and they are criminal entities as are recognized as such. When we talk about police officers, that's something different. These are people who are acting on behalf of us as citizens. We empower them as citizens. We grant them the authority, and they're acting on our behalf. So when they take a life, it is something different than when a criminal gang member takes a life. He's a criminal gang member. We kind of expect some of that behavior from them. That's why we define them as such. But when a police officer does it, he's acting under our authority, under our power, and we're actually paying his salary. And so that's the distinction here. It doesn't mean that it's any less important with regard to, addressing the issue of crime that happens, outside of policing. That's substantial. But again, these are people who are acting, with our authority. So that's what we need to hold them to task. And unfortunately, up until now, it seems that, things don't happen unless there's a video. Unless there's an audio, unless there's a recording,
You said it seems that way, huh? It seems that way?
We all know that these things happened for decades and decades and decades. But, let's face it, if you're a police officer and you're working in Inglewood, you know who you can abuse. You know whose rights you can violate. Because if they have some kind of a criminal background, if they are a nobody, you can get away with it. In a way that you can't get away with it in my community. Because,
as evidenced by this police officer, I think it was in Oklahoma City, who had raped all these black women.
Right. Exactly. And he specifically was targeting women who were disempowered, who had criminal background, whose word would not be taken.
Right. And they said as much. They said, who do you call the police on against the police?
Exactly. And until he came across a woman who had credibility. He attacked her. She was a woman who could stand up and say, I haven't been convicted of anything in my life. And I want to file a complaint against this officer for attacking me. So again, the police are going to go as far as they think they can go, given who you are in a society. And, we see this in terms of study after study with regard to the way the police, their attitudes in terms of policing various communities. As I said, the police are very friendly in my community when they pull you over because they have no idea whether you are donating to such and such a campaign, whether you've got such and such a number on your Rolodex, the 18th district here, my community, is among the most desirable of districts to serve in if you're a police officer. It's a great place. There's not that much crime here. It's beautiful restaurants, great shopping, beautiful community. And your life is not likely to be in very much danger. I mean, unless you're going to, possibly you might get punched by some idiot coming out of a bar on Division Street on a Saturday night. But other than that, by and large, it's a very nice place to police because you don't have to worry about a whole lot of crime.
Right.
The downside for them is that, if by any chance they get out of line, people in my community have the capacity and understanding of the system to take that person into account. And when such and such, doctor of such and such decides to call the local precinct and file a complaint, you better believe he's going to be taken seriously.
Right.
Unlike someone, in a different community. So,
right.
But
yeah, hey, Steve,
Steve,
Arlene wants to get in here. I got to move too. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it, man.
I just want to interject to his comment. In the Black community, there are people who are of substance, law-abiding, upstanding citizens, doctors, lawyers, politicians, ministers, the whole gamut.
Right.
But the difference is, and we live in our communities, but we are still treated a particular way because of our race.
Right.
Now,
That's otherism.
It's otherism. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So, I think that this release, the Laquan McDonald video has sounded a bell in the Black community that we have to recognize what is being done to our people and that no one is really exempt.
I'm worried about that bell, though, because this is not the first time the bell has been rung.
It is not.
And it's always an okie doke coming down the road to distract and dissolute people. Just spread them out.
Absolutely. And we know that's coming, which is why I think those of us who are aware have to begin to look ahead. We can't just look at what's happening today. What's going to happen 6 months from now? You mentioned voting. That is a key point in terms of changing the dynamics.
Yeah, you watched the mayor wandering around the South Side this end of the week, this past week.
But see, the
all them smiling people out there with him. Happy to see the mayor.
Yes,
yes. He gave him a little sandwich. Everybody's cool all of a sudden.
Well, that's the thing about removing heads of things, removing the superintendent, removing the state's attorney. This is deeper than who's at the top, whose face we're seeing.
Right.
And I think as an attorney, I'm looking deeper and I want to develop strategies to deal with policies and practices that can have long-term effects.
We'll do that then.
Enact laws that can change things. That's how things changed in the past.
We'll do that. Let me get David from Sacramento, California calling here today. Hey, Dave, how's the weather in Sacramento?
It's kind of dismal, dark and gloomy.
Oh, man up, please. We're in Chicago, man.
Well, I'm a first-time caller. I just want to let you know, California, we got your back over here in California at what's going on in Chicago. Just want to let you know.
Okay.
So,
hey, man, I appreciate it. Listen, this is what I want you to do, though. I want you to go to the DMV. I want you to tell them that they made a mistake on your license, that you're actually Black.
Oh, okay. So then that was just basic. Then they would be colorblind if they did that, right?
Well, we come in all shades, but then drive around for a while and tell everybody you're Black and see how it turned out.
Okay, I'll make sure I'll have a sticker.
You ain't got the brown costume, but I know, man.
So here's my point that I want to make out on this. Well, look at it this way. People, I don't sound like I'm 50 years old, but I'm very young because I work out 5 days a week. But here's the thing. My point is this. This has been going on for a long time. And all these people who have cops, who have police officers in their family, they think that, a police officer doing that? No, that'll never happen. They're not that kind of people that would do that kind of stuff. But it's been going on for years. The only difference is that, remember the former Oklahoma City police officer who was found guilty of multiple rapes?
Right.
There was no video on that. Okay?
Right.
So people thought, this guy who was doing basically, you probably read the article, right? He was and the amazing thing about it, they say, well, this guy, never thought he would have a fair trial. Well, I hate to tell you that, people out there that they didn't think they had a fair trial. The people that he raped, that he did this to other people that were vulnerable, who are Black women, Well, the jury were all a white jury. So he had a fair trial.
Yeah,
So
it was
the
an
fact of the
all-white
matter
jury,
is-
and everybody in the courtroom was white from all the accounts.
Absolutely. And there was no video on this issue that they think that, oh, these black women were all, they're basically fabricating a story. You know, well, I hate to tell you, and I blog on this every single time on Yahoo, all the time, that look, listen, I hope this sends a message to a lot of police officers out there that, you know something, if you can't step down as a police officer because you were found guilty and you're out to keep your job and your pension, then here's what people were going to do. And I say this on the radio show in Chicago, also in Boston, that people didn't believe me that they were going to go ahead and do a recall for the assembly. That what's going to happen is that they're going to go ahead and vote on a recall, and then they're going to recall this mayor because they don't have a recall law in Chicago.
Right.
But see, here's the thing. They will have a recall. Once they vote on this, then they're going to get the attorney general out. They're going to go ahead and get the mayor out, because what's happened is that if the police chief does not fire the police officer that did this, and you know what's going to happen? Then we'll fire the mayor too. And the mayor is going to say, hey, it's either your job or my job. Either I get rid of you. I'm sure in hell I'm not going to get rid of my job. So I have to fire you, dude, because they're going to get rid of me.
Right.
So you got to go. So basically they're playing the, pointing the finger here. And basically somebody's got to abandon ship. So I have to tell you, this has been going on for a long time. And, and they think that, and remember, and there was two deputies in Los Angeles. You probably heard the story about that they shot a 6-year-old kid with autism. Would you believe that? And they charged him for second-degree murder in L.A. These two sheriffs shot a 6-year-old just 2 days ago. And we didn't hear a story about that,
6-year-old?
which you will.
It's not a 6-year-old? I can't think of any circumstance where you would have to shoot a 6-year-old. I mean, even if they will not eat their dinner, there's no reason to shoot a 6-year-old.
No, none.
I want you to, I'm sure you have your producer will look it up, that two were.
You assume we have a producer. You assume
for autism.
You assume we have a
But
producer, man.
You know what my point is. You know what my point is that I think we're tired of it. Ferguson, we're looking at the 6 cops are being charged in Boston. And people are looking at this case very carefully, that these cops are saying, hey, you better watch your back, because the people of the voters are watching you. And we're not taking any of their crap anymore.
That's right.
And we're
Hey, Dave.
tired of this stuff.
Hey, Dave, you mentioned earlier that you have a blog. Can you share that on our Facebook page?
Yeah, I'll share that with your Facebook page. And by the way, I finally got on board with iHeartRadio. I finally have my own show on iHeartRadio. And then also, I'm also with Jeff Santos, who used to be at WCPT for Progressive Radio. Anyway.
Yeah, share the blog on our Facebook page, man. Let's make sure we get a chance to read your writing, okay?
I appreciate it. And you know something I appreciate, that you guys are doing? I got your back. California's got your back. California does not put up with this anymore. And, we're firing cops left and right. And it's the ones we need to fire are the good cops, because they're the ones that are not pointing out.
That's exactly right.
The
It's the good cops. That's right. Hey, Dave, I appreciate it, man.
All right.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's always the case that it isn't the touch point that's my problem. Like Donald Trump isn't my problem. It's those 43% idiots who follow him that are the problem.
Yeah.
It's those people who march around outside of mosques throwing bombs in mosques and frightened. There was a little girl on the news I watched the other day, and she asked her mother if she could stop wearing her hairdress because she was afraid. That don't make no damn sense, right? The report, there's polls that say that 57% of Americans disagree with Donald Trump. I ain't worried about them. I'm worried about the 43% that do. Right. And all you need is a third of that 43% to act a damn fool.
And he's there.
Who's I'm sorry, man. Let me get this
Go
last
ahead,
thought out. So who's radicalizing who? Sounds to me like Donald Trump is radicalizing people into acting badly. Maybe it's just me. Go ahead.
I don't think I don't that last point. I don't really agree with that. The way you said it, that Donald Trump, these people are looking for someone who represents how they feel. Donald Trump is representing how people feel. Now, the very hidden racism or the hidden divisive type of way of thinking that we can't see, Donald Trump is a platform to those people for those people to be able to express how they already feel.
Right.
So it's not like he's stirring it up.
Which is
These people-
actually he is, because now they're emboldened.
Well, these people are walking amongst us. These are the people.
I know, but they're not acting on it.
Well, they
Because
are.
he's-
They are in the form of some of these police officers. They are acting on it. We just don't.
No. I know what you're saying. What I'm
Yeah.
talking about is now they're bombing and they're beating up little girls in
Right.
schools and they're threatening people.
Yes.
They're emboldened now to
Right.
do things like that against innocent people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's problematic. This country has a long history of creating otherisms.
Right.
It was Italian, it was Irish, it was
Right.
Japanese.
I agree with that.
I mean, listen, the whole notion of this is what makes it so incredibly stupid. And I know it's a different point, but how in the hell are you going to discern a Muslim from coming in this country? Hell, you can't tell the difference between Japanese and Chinese.
Okay.
So what if you got a Japanese Muslim show up at the border and want to come in?
Psalmist.
How you gonna figure that out?
I do appreciate Steve from the Gold Coast for making a point about the distinction, making a distinction between police officers' crime and police officers committing these crimes are different because we pay them. That's important because it was like I was listening to a sports show about Peyton Manning, and he was retiring, right? Well, he's not retiring; he's just playing horribly. But it was something different when one of the coaches, the white coaches, was saying, his name was Steve Mariucci. Steve Mariucci. He was making a point like, Peyton, he's at the end, but we're just gonna let him go out on his own terms, kind of thing. It was like a pass that Peyton Manning, is legendary as he is, he's playing horrific, but it was like this. It almost seemed like a racial pass that he was giving Peyton Manning. It was like
they sit a brother down
to the
play
point
like
where
that.
they really ripping a hole into Kobe Bryant. The
Right,
same
yeah, he needs to
same
stop,
player.
yeah.
They ripping a hole into Kobe.
Right.
Now I'm saying I'm glad that Steve made a distinction and being able to recognize that. But I think that's a part of some of the problem I think that a lot of black communities have with some of the whites, that is that they're not recognizing that some of the whites amongst them are kind of, not able to recognize when their privilege is kicking in to not act in a certain way.
So the numbers 773-763-9278. We got to take a break. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
This is Andre Davis. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting Radio Show.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualityoflifeinsurance.com.
Traditionally, it's taken many kinds of insurance to give you security. Quality of Life Insurance is changing all that. It can provide life insurance, protect against disability, and provide benefits if you suffer a serious illness or injury and survive.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITSASHORT.com. We have wonderful success stories. A lot of our artists are sort of award-winning short film makers, and they go on to become feature-length filmmakers or, actors in TV series, or some of the major blockbuster films that are out now. So there's a lot of our artists that you will see in Academy Award-winning feature-length films. And we also have like Marshall Curry is an Academy Award-winning documentarian. So we have that caliber of artist on our platform. Our subscription, we are a subscription-based service, but your first month is free. And if you happen to be an artist, there is no subscription fee for you. Our subscription is $2 a month or $20 for the year, which entitles you to be able to see all of these amazing short film, video, and web series. There is always a discount for Family Meeting. Just simply when you register, use the promo code FAMILY, and you will be granted a free 1-year subscription.
Okay, listeners, get ready for the $80,000 question. How much does 1 year in a private nursing home cost today? If you guessed $80,000, you're almost right, according to the Genworth 2012 Cost of Care Survey. In fact, depending on your location, it can be even higher. And while more than 70% of us will need long-term care at some point during our lives, most of us have no idea how we'll pay for it. Agents with the Polaris Insurance Agency can help. Contact the Polaris Insurance Agency for free information that can help you make a plan. Don't outlive your financial resources. Call the Polaris Insurance Agency today at 312-951-2606.
The Howard University online EMBA is tailor-made for busy professionals seeking a competitive edge in business and government organizations. Their 18-month program also connects you through their elite networking and professional development events, including an optional trip to China. For more information, go to howardemba.com.
This is Pam Jackson, business consultant in Chicago. Welcome back to the family meeting.
See, y'all wasn't ready for that one, were you? You wasn't ready for that. Hey, Rob over here doing the robot,
Hey,
man.
baby, hey.
Come on, do that again, man.
Hey,
Let me
man,
see how
that-
you get out, man.
That got
All right, now get up and do that, man.
That get into my soul, man. That get into my soul.
Get up. Let me see what Rob got here. Watch out now. Yeah, boy.
But you don't know me. Right, that's funny. We just had we had a nice time at my nephew wedding. Jarvis Jones, my nephew,
JJ.
18 years old, got married, man.
Wow.
Him and his wife. We had a real nice time. We had a pretty big wedding out in Aurora. It was really nice, man. We had a really nice time last night,
Okay.
man. Yeah,
That's
I was
cool.
proud of them.
All right, cool. The number is 773-763-9278. That's Parliament Funkadelic, baby, in case you didn't know. You ain't ready for this. You ain't ready. Okay, so the thing I want to ask you, Arlene, the plans. Cook County Bar Association plan. I mean, those are your brethren, those people in Cook County, the state's attorney's office. Your
Yes.
brethren.
Yes, and sisters too. Sister and
Okay, ain't that the same as brethren?
No.
No.
Okay, sisterin. Did I say sisterin?
My brothers,
Brethren and sisterin.
sisters
Coalition.
in the practice. Well, there are a
I
couple
always
of
got to
things.
pick on a brother because he don't have like the sisters, man. What the hell is wrong with y'all?
Well, there are a couple of things that we are planning. We are planning a state's attorneys forum. We want
Y'all gonna have a forum, huh?
we are going to invite all of the candidates to come before the community to talk.
Oh, okay, so I get a chance to MC that joint?
Was that an offer?
Sure it is. As long as y'all can know I'm not going to behave.
Well, I want to find someone who
Who's going to behave? I got you. Yeah, okay. That excludes me.
It's the sister that does the presidential debates. Gwen,
Gwen
somebody-
Eiffel, yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh, she ain't going to do it like I will.
No, she won't.
No, man. I'm going to put him on the spot.
We're gonna find somebody.
I'm going to tell him you can go home tonight. You ain't going to win.
You found somebody. We finna talk him into behaving.
Okay.
Just you.
How you gonna talk me into behaving?
Because
I'm a
we
grown
don't.
ass man. How you
Because
gonna
we
talk-
got to talk you into behaving. We got to show you. We got to show you where it benefits you. That's what it is.
Yeah, we've got to get information to our people. I mean, like this program, just talking about this issue is so very important. And I think that's how we keep the spotlight on it, because we know the weather is going to change. But this is not a moment. It is a movement. It's a movement.
You think so?
I'm claiming that it is.
Black
I think
folks are so easily distracted.
we
though.
have to speak things as though they are. This is a movement.
Oh, don't put that on me now. Don't put that on me.
Okay.
You know like I do. How long you been black now?
I've been black all of my
She
life.
put her hand on her hip.
Did you see it,
did.
brother?
I
And roll
and
her
rolled
leg.
my neck too.
Mississippi style.
I'm serious.
Like, don't ask her nothing like
You
that.
you nuts. Come on, quit playing now. You know black folks get distracted like that.
Well, and some black folks. But
Starting with the preachers, because they're gonna get a little money, get a little sidewalk fixed in front of the church, and then they're gonna start preaching, get the mayor in the church, and he gonna give them a little grant to build a little building, and then they're gonna shut up.
You talking about Reverend Minks or something? Who you talking about? No, I'm just
pick one. Pick
no,
one.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
You know what? One thing that I think is very important is that we all have one thing in common. The preachers, the politicians, the young protesters, the lawyers, the doctors. We are all people of color. And that's going to have to be the thing that connects us. If nothing else does, when I look at you, when I look at Robert, we're Black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Arlene, you know, like I do, we're going to all be Black, and some of us going to have more than others. Like, I got a sidewalk now, and you don't.
Okay.
Right.
This is true.
And that's going to cause them to be fractures.
But we all can play different roles in this. We all don't have to. I don't have to march. I can do something else to contribute. You're doing something else to contribute. So I want to focus not so much on the people who may not be doing the right thing, but on the people who are doing the right thing and keep us on that path.
Well,
and if I'm the only one
great.
that's doing this, then it'll just be me. But I think I'm not alone in this thought that we have got to change the dialogue.
So sweet. It sounds sweet.
We've got to change.
You're making me misty now.
We got to change the paradigm. And because in our history, we've been successful when we came together before. And conditions were much worse then, which is what I think makes this a little more challenging, because we do have some people who have assimilated, who we're allowed to go where we want to go to eat. We can stay at what hotels we want. Those issues are not prevalent. Now the discrimination has become more implicit and more underground.
Systemic.
That's the word I was looking for.
You got 2 damn degrees, and I got a better word than you.
Yeah. I don't know how many. You might have a few degrees there too,
I
brother.
have one, just one. I barely got that one.
Yeah, 30 years ago. Look, I want to touch on something you was talking about, double standard. What was you talking about double standard during the break?
Well, during the break, I think that we were talking about too the white privilege that, or let me put it this way. I was writing some notes. I think in our country, race was used to create an economic structure, historically, create a structure that was beneficial to one race and detrimental to another. In capitalism, somebody's got to be on top and someone's going to be on the bottom. And unfortunately, for the most part, it has been Black people who have been on the bottom of the food chain. Even though we have made strides, and those strides we've made are very important, Black people built this country, and we don't get the recognition we should for that, in my opinion, humble opinion.
You don't have to qualify that. That's completely accurate.
That is accurate. It is my opinion. And so, you know, I sometimes think we expect white people to kind of back off or acknowledge their privilege, and they're not going. I don't think they're going to do that. They expect to be in control. They like having the power. Power is great. It's great.
Right.
And
the president commemorated the. How come I'm going blank now?
the
13th. The amendment, the 13th Amendment.
The 13th Amendment.
Right.
Yes,
he commemorated the 150th anniversary, 13th Amendment, and I read it.
Yes.
At least part of it again. So there was a part that kind of jumped out at me, and Melissa Harris Perry, I think, made note of it too.
Okay.
The part that said that servitude and slavery would be illegal unless it's part of punishment.
Yeah.
Right. So immediately following the 13th Amendment, of course, people of color began to be imprisoned at an alarming rate. And many of them, when they were imprisoned, were then shipped back to the very plantation they were just freed from to work for free because they were being punished.
They were strategic in those writings.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that, of course, that still stands now.
Yes,
and we watch people of color being unusually imprisoned.
The prison industrial complex, that's a real thing that makes money for certain people. A lot of money. And when you chase the money, I'm telling you, it comes back to race. And some people of color get in there and get a little piece of the pie, but they're just getting a little.
So what do you, I mean, this may not be the right time to talk about that, but do you guys have a stance on the prison industrial complex as the oldest bar association, Black bar association?
I don't think that we have a collective stance about it.
Right.
But what I can say is I'll put it this way. There's a movement toward criminal justice reform and reduction of the prison population that is in process right now. So we support the advocates for reduction of the prison population. The Cook County Board president has been on it in terms of making sure that things because things change in the Cook County Jail, and that population has been reduced substantially. We're also we're seeing new laws being adopted within our jurisprudence system, which allow for other forms. There are other ways to keep up with people besides locking them in jail, because what happens in reality is that people who are poor and don't have resources, they get to go to jail. If you have money, and connections, then you can get out.
Right.
So poverty should not be the factor that decides who gets locked up for 6 months while they're waiting to go to trial.
Right. I have to tell you though that this week in particular, and it kind of flowed over me. I was real disappointed in our country. It started, I think, largely when I watched this little girl and the fear in her eyes that she couldn't wear her headdress because she was afraid. This is a little girl. I'm talking about 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
And then you see these masked, they looked like white men, but they were masked, standing outside of a mosque with big rifles, long guns, as they say, every day, just standing outside. And the horror behind that. And then, I had a chance to read some of the transcript from Congress when they were debating anti-lynching laws in the late 1800s, early 1920s.
You went deep on that.
Well, when I get moments, I read stuff like that. I just Google it and read it. And how they argued against there needing to be anti-lynching laws while we were watching major news publications publish the occurrence of lynching and have pictures with groups of white people standing and smiling with their children.
It was a family outing.
Right. Yeah, it was. They would announce it. We're going to find somebody today. We're going to disembowel them and burn them and string them up.
Isn't that a form of terrorism? You think?
Thank you. Right.
I mean, and so you talk about the little girl who was afraid, but I believe our children are afraid. I mean, I hear that, and rightfully so. When we've seen through video, a 12-year-old was shot, and was that in Ohio? He was playing with a
Tamir Rice. Rice, yeah.
Yeah, that just should not happen. It's like, can't you see that's a child, and can't you talk to them? Why are you shooting them? Why is this the path, the recourse that some people want to take? Some law enforcement.
I mean, maybe because we've grown accustomed to it, but that kind of terrorism exists in this country in a big way.
Yes.
It isn't the same kind of terrorism of foreign lands where we got people who don't speak the language that are coming and shooting up groups of people, blowing things up. But it's a form of terrorism. It's terrorism, the fact that I can't walk into a conference room and feel completely comfortable that I can express myself for fear that I'd lose my job. I could express the same concern that my white counterpart could.
Yeah. The biggest way I gauge that, what you just said, expression, is by something simple as watching football. When the players score a touchdown, the black player, when they score a touchdown, they tend to celebrate a little bit, but they throw a flag for taunting. But it's something that is so embedded in that part of a black person, when they, play sports.
I don't mean to diminish actual terrorism. I don't mean to do that.
No.
But this country has groups of people, others who are terrorized on a regular basis. This is a country that more or less endorses a low-level hum of terrorism. I went there.
Some culture, I call it a culture of violence.
Culture of violence
in this country.
Yeah, so maybe we'll hit that when we come back from the break. All right. 773-763-9278. Tressa's here. Did you bring your voice today, baby girl? Did you bring your voice?
I did.
That's my girl. That's what I'm talking about. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
If you're happy, I gladly give my life. Today I'll take this vow to make you my wife. Nothing temporary, no, it's quite contrary. You and me for an eternity.
Hi, I'm Donna Miller, and I'm president of Democratic Women of the South Suburbs. Keep listening to the family meeting.
The name of my business is Mrs. Indecent Exposure. We are an intimate aromatherapy, massage, bath, and body shop. We have the best aromatherapy, bath, and skincare products available. You can find us in Chicago and on the World Wide Web. We're located at 6916 West North Avenue in Chicago, 3 blocks east of Harlem Avenue, 773-417-3223. Mrs. Indecent Exposure, MRSNDEXPO.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualityoflifeinsurance.com.
How do you describe quality of life? For most of us, it's about health, people we love, and peace of mind. Quality of life insurance is modern, affordable life insurance that works harder for you. It's there for your family if you die, but it can also provide benefits if you suffer a serious illness or injury and need financial help to maintain your lifestyle. Quality of life insurance even gives you options to build cash value for a more secure retirement. You've worked hard to attain your quality of life. We work hard to help you protect it.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
This is Carmen Ruffin, co-host of The Family Meeting. We love being here every Sunday. Our sponsors and advertisers make that possible. So if you're a business owner or a manager, please consider advertising on our show. There's something for every budget, from one commercial per show to a full sponsorship.
For more information, contact The Family Meeting at info@tfmradioshow.com. That's info@tfmradioshow.com.
And now the Family Meeting presents your Chicago Defender News.
Good evening, family. I'm Teresa McDonald, and here are the top stories from ChicagoDefender.com. The FBI is viewing a fire that took place at a mosque in Coachella, California, as an intentional act. The fire happened around 12 p.m., 15 minutes after an afternoon prayer service. There were just a few worshipers in the mosque when the fire erupted, and no one was injured. A person of interest was detained, but very little information was released. The incident comes in a week full of attacks against Muslim Americans since the San Bernardino shooting. A pig's severed head was found outside of a mosque in Philadelphia, while in New York, a man was arrested for attacking a Muslim store owner. Just like that, Donald Trump gained a few more enemies. The hacktivist group Anonymous named Donald its newest target less than a week after the Republican presidential candidate announced his desire to ban all Muslims from traveling to the U.S. In a YouTube video released on Wednesday, a masked man can be seen sitting behind a desk and warning Trump to think twice before he says anything else. Anonymous is targeting Donald's Trump Tower new NY.com website. And according to the International Business Times, the site was down for several hours on Friday. Saying, and I quote, "Every child, regardless of race, income, or zip code, deserves a shot at a great education." President Barack Obama on Thursday signed a measure to revamp No Child Left Behind. No Child Left Behind, which President George W. Bush signed into law in 2001, required federal involvement in the nation's public schools over the last decade. The Every Student Succeeds Act, signed Thursday by President Obama, dramatically curtails the federal government's role in student education. States and local school districts will have more authority over school performance and accountability, President Obama said. Again, quoting, "Every Student Succeeds Act focuses on ensuring that students graduate from high school and are prepared for college and their careers." During a hearing for an affirmative action case on Wednesday, conservative Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia suggested that some African Americans belong at lesser colleges. The remark came as the justice questioned an attorney for the University of Texas, which is defending its use of race as a factor in admissions in a case before the U.S. Supreme Court. There are those who contend that it does not benefit African Americans to get them into University of Texas where they do not do well, as opposed to having them go to a less advanced school, a slower track school where they do well, Scalia said. Read the entire quote at chicagodefender.com. The case is being heard by the Supreme Court as college campuses begin to reflect national protests against police brutality and structural racism. Also read or watch at chicagodefender.com. Victims of ex-police officer, serial rapist Daniel Holtzclaw speak out. Metro Atlanta teacher asks Muslim schoolgirl if she has a bomb in backpack. And bet you didn't know these celebrities were Muslim. For more on these stories and other up-to-date news, and to get your weekly subscription, visit chicagodefender.com. The news today is sponsored by Mrs. Indecent Exposure. Please visit mrsndexpo.com and get stocking stuffers for $2.99, holiday grab bags for $5, aromatherapy gift sets, $10. But giving the gift of relaxation, that's priceless. Stop by our store located at 6916 West North Avenue in Chicago, or visit us on the web at mrsndexpo.com. I'm Teresa McDonald, and this has been your Chicago Defender News. We're having a great conversation today. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with more of the family meeting.
Your favorite progressive voices: Bill Press, Stephanie Miller, Tom Hartman, Norman Goldman, Amy Goodman, and Alan Combs, all on one station. This is 820 AM WCPT Willow Springs, 92.5 WCPT FM DeKalb, 92.7 FM WCPY Arlington Heights, 99.9 FM WCPQ Park Forest, and streaming worldwide at chicagosprogressivetalk.com. This is Chicago's Progressive Talk.
The name of my business is Mrs. Indecent Exposure. Stop in and check out our Forbidden Fruit bath bombs. We have Orgasmic Fantasy, and for the men, we have Extremely Sexy bath bombs. We also feature a Little Mrs. and a Little Masters line, a tween line, if you will. We're located at 6916 West North Avenue in Chicago, 773-417-3223. Mrs. Indecent Exposure, mrsndexpo.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualityoflifeinsurance.com.
How do you describe quality of life? For most of us, it's about health, people we love, and peace of mind. Quality of life insurance is modern, affordable life insurance that works harder for you. It's there for your family if you die, but it can also provide benefits if you suffer a serious illness or injury and need financial help to maintain your lifestyle. Quality of life insurance even gives you options to build cash value for a more secure retirement. You've worked hard to attain your quality of life. We work hard to help you protect it.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, and Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
The Howard University online EMBA is tailor-made for busy professionals seeking a competitive edge in business and government organizations. Their 18-month program also connects you through their elite networking and professional development events, including an optional trip to China. For more information, go to howardemba.com.
this is Stephanie Miller. Be sure to tune into my show Monday through Friday, 8 to 11 a.m. But right now, keep listening to The Family Meeting on Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT, AM and FM.
As usual, during the break, we have the more and more robust conversations. We get it all out then. Even the little secrets. Like Arlene got secrets. She ain't going to tell you today, though.
I don't want to be a player no more.
Don't sing some more, man. You know what you should do? You should do the dance and sing.
No, man. You can't get me like some kind of clown in blackface or something.
Like a buffoon. Go ahead.
Nah, man. No.
That is not who he is.
Hey,
Hey,
what's
I mean, I hear doing a
what's
clown.
that? He's a grown ass man. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So what's your website so they can figure out what's going on next with you guys?
Oh, it is www.cook
We
County
know, you know
Bar.
what? We know about the www part.
CookCountyBar.org.
Like what country? So we ain't all from Mississippi.
That's
CookCountyBar.org.
Correct.
So if y'all
We
have,
also have Facebook. We have a Facebook page too. We post there.
What?
And on our website, which is under remodeling. We're revamping it.
Okay.
Under
Okay.
construction.
But y'all got things you're getting ready to do.
Well,
Stuff.
yeah.
You ain't have to talk about it now. I know you want to keep everything secret.
I do. I don't think you have to put all your business out there sometimes.
What should you do? You're the Cook County Bar Association.
We put. I mean, I want to be
You
strategic.
want to keep it secret?
You know, in litigation, we don't tell our opponent, "Look, man, this is what I'm gonna do," so that you can prepare to come against me. We don't do that.
Yeah, but if you Michael Jordan, you tell him, I'm finna get the ball, I'm finna score, and you can't do anything about it. So the question is, are y'all bad like Michael Jordan? Or are you gonna sneak up on him like Steve Kerr or somebody? With sports analogies like that?
Michael Jordan's a bad brother
Yeah,
now.
boy. Ali told you he gonna knock you out. He told you.
Yeah, he did.
So if you're gonna knock him out, tell him I'm gonna knock you out. You can't do nothing about it. Can't do nothing. Anyway. Watch the site, cookcountybar.org, and there's things that Arlene and her crew got planned.
We will be posting. I mean, we have position statements. We regularly post our position statements about current events. The thing with Laquan McDonald's video, this stuff is changing by 2-3 times a day. Somebody is coming out saying things. I want them. Things are changing rapidly, and so we want to be timely and stay on top of that. I want to encourage the demonstrators to continue to do that. I think that is very, very important. One thing though, looking at this from a legal perspective, is the ability of the state's attorney's office to objectively prosecute this case. And I know that our state's attorney is saying, I'm going to prosecute this case. It took me 13 months to really get that together for
It
various.
took me about 10 minutes to figure out what was going on.
Okay, well, see.
It took her 13 months. She crazy as hell.
It's a process. But either way.
Process? What process?
My point is, though, there's been a breach of the public trust.
Right.
The public doesn't trust that office
Right,
anymore.
that's true.
And so we have a mechanism in our system for appointment of a special prosecutor.
Good luck.
We're going to ask for it. And
You gotta do more than ask them.
That's where I think that different groups have to join together and ask for this and push for it in
Try
order.
demand.
We have to demand it.
Right, because there's no way she's going to step back and let go of control over her perception. Because that's what'll happen. If somebody else gets control, then she no longer can control her perception.
But you know what? I think that sometimes I'm not trying to tell her what to do, but if the goal is to recapitulate
All right,
yourself.
the her is Anita Alvarez, by the way. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Too many pronouns there.
I'm sorry about that. If the goal is to reestablish trust in the state's attorney's office with the public, then you may have to step back.
Is that the goal, though?
Well, I think it should be.
I mean, but really, I mean, we talk about chasing goals here. I mean, do we want to reestablish trust, or do we want systemic change? A system, I heard a guy say this on television the other day, a system that works doesn't allow rogue cops like that to exist. A system that works doesn't take 14 months to look at a video and still is fairly inconclusive in their minds.
I agree. It doesn't. In a perfect
Right.
world, it
So,
won't.
so you're
But
just
it's-
moving chess men around. If you move her out and somebody else in who's gonna act the same way,
That's what I said at the beginning, Eric, that this is a deep root. And we can change the head, but if we don't do anything about the systemic problem, if we don't change the laws, then it's not going to change. It's going to, once this dies down, it'll be business as usual.
Right.
And we
Okay.
don't want that.
No, we don't want that.
One other thing we are asking for, I think there's legislation.
Demanding.
We're demanding.
Right.
Those power words. We're demanding. I need to speak.
Right. Yeah. Do your fist like that, like the little girl fist thing. She had a little girl fist.
That's not a girl.
Bob Dole.
Wasn't that a girl
That's
fist?
a woman.
Get you. Gonna get you. You know what it was? It was a Ben Carson fist.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
my God.
mean.
Hey guys, let's get it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's a whole nother show.
I know.
About that, brother. We demand. We believe and demand more video, dash cam videos, and a timely release of the police dash cam videos. You know, this business about no audio, no tasers. You know, the officers not following the rules. Disciplinary actions must be taken against officers that don't follow the rules and regulations that protect the public. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's a duh moment. That's
Yeah.
what that is. Yeah.
Okay, so that we don't have this foolish. Oh, I forgot to turn on the audio, which
No, you're fired.
right.
You're fired.
Then someone else
Right.
will remember the next time.
And
we got it.
the next clown that comes in, we're gonna take his on-off button away. Ain't no on-off button for you.
No.
No.
I
No.
don't know how to use it. So
No, you can't behave, so you don't get your vegetables tonight. No, you can't do that.
you know, I'd like to see. And finally, this is, and then now we'll go on.
Okay.
We want to see an equitable application of the rules, the laws, and whatnot. What's good for the rules that apply to the general public must also apply to police officers who are charged with offenses of deadly or excessive force. In terms of how they encounter it's kind of like a little double standard going on here.
That's a duh moment too.
That's
You know
a
that,
yeah.
right?
Well, I'm just stating. Okay, I'm stating the obvious.
A criminal
Everybody
should be
has
charged with a crime.
exactly.
Right.
But
That's just like duh, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's. I don't know if it's that simple, but
Well, of course it's not, because people will introduce two-dimensional videos to us and then try to confuse the damn issue. That don't make no sense, man. Okay, so let's get it in here before we take our next break here. But, you know, Rob knows what's getting ready to go on. You're new, so you're not quite sure what's getting ready to go on.
I am not.
Yeah, but this is my man, Tommy. Yeah, Tommy, go and do your thing, man.
Well, let's see. The concept of justice seems to me it's been just us. So how much longer do we have to wait for this so-called process to come to a reality that we are living in two separate Americas? One that simply says, skip you. And the other one that says, skip you doubly. At the end of the day, it shouldn't be a window left downtown, period. I want to keep asking people, how long are we supposed to remain peaceful? Now, some idiot out there going to say, oh, he's promoting violence. No, the hell I'm not. Not when you can sit there and see a police officer shoot a character 17 times and then have a prosecutor say, oh, by the way, I need a little time to get it straight. And then let's talk about these so-called videos. You had a video of Eric Gardner with his hands up, and the police were not charged. You got dash cams that's on a police cruiser, and you telling me that you're leaving it up to the police officer to turn the damn thing on or off? What the hell happens till we serve and we protect the public? Because I'll tell you what happens. The public is asleep, they don't care, and they're just dumb as a box of rocks. And if you think that anything in this country is about to change, you're absolutely wrong. Because it is so systemic, it is so mind-boggling, it is so deep that's when I started asking people, you ought to damn it subscribe to www.howdamndumb.can-you-be, because anytime a man could be running for the president of the United States of America and say no Muslims can come to this country, and then you got another character that's sitting up there in the highest office of the land, you can't get rid of him, he's there till he dies, and he says, oh, by the way, the colored people are doing themselves a disservice to go to these colleges. Really? Man, Mars ain't far enough, man. Bye.
You can catch Tommy at the top of the second hour of the family meeting every Sunday. And I think Tommy, I know Tom. Tom is he had his blue pill today.
Yeah, he was fired up today.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, a lot to be angry about. I mean, like I said before we went into the news, I mean, it's a culture of terrorism at varying levels that exists in this country, perpetrated upon various groups of people, and it results in mass incarceration of a lot of the population. Unfortunately, a disproportionate number are of color. As Black people, I mean, let's talk frankly as Black people here tonight. Okay, we are as a people far more vigilant than we probably should have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always kind of watching your back and strategically placing your words,
your expressions.
Yeah.
We bear this responsibility to make sure everybody around us feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Including walking into a damn convenience store. I got to make sure that the guy behind the counter can see me so he don't shoot me.
Yeah.
I got to make sure if I see a police officer and I happen to have a luxury car with tinted windows, if I'm in the wrong neighborhood, I could get mistaken for a drug dealer.
You very well could.
Yes. So I got to make sure that I'm driving the right speed, that I'm signaling. And it's a hypervigilance that we have to possess to make everybody feel comfortable around us. And it's a hell of a burden to try to carry.
That's absolutely right. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with what you're saying.
So, when we talk about systemic challenges, when do we get a chance to just express ourselves and not be characterized as angry or damaging or just be a citizen? Why do little girls have to be afraid?
And we don't get that chance. I mean, just like the brother Tommy that called in, he has the right to say everything that he said, but because he said it that way, it's a label. Right. Or if I'm, fussing, arguing, screaming and hollering, I'm an angry Black woman. Those are labels that get, and not just by the other culture, but our culture. We put those labels on ourselves. Or you shouldn't, I may get some calls to say, you shouldn't have said that, what you said, Arlene. But at the end of the day, we have to be true to ourselves and we have to be true to our people. Some of us do have to.
You think so?
Yeah. If you want to change things, as Booker T. Washington said, put your pail down where you are. Work there. Start there.
Is that what Booker T. Washington said?
That was one of the things he said. And I want to get into the Booker T. WB.
Yeah, you don't want to get in that debate. I think you should take your bucket elsewhere. And we got this guy Scalia talking about Black folks should go to lesser schools. We should then, just like supporting Black businesses, take your scholarship dollars and your grant dollars to a Black college.
Yes.
And keep their little stinking, we don't want to go to your little stinking schools.
But see, with Scalia, and this goes back to voting, the president we elect picks the Supreme Court. So we're dealing with him from, I think, I know a Republican president appointed him.
Reagan.
I'm thinking it was, we're still dealing with the Reagan stuff today.
That's why we got to elect a president that can replace him, because he's like 100. He ain't got but a few minutes left. I'm just saying.
Well, that's a lifetime appointment, but I
ain't
think
much life left for that old dude.
A lot of our people don't know that. So we have to vote. We have to use our voting block power to effectuate change.
Let's do a voter drive. That's what we should do.
I think different groups are. Some people are doing.
That's a secret now, right?
No, that's not a secret.
Okay.
Is. I'm saying vote, drive, register.
We should have a voting drive.
Okay.
Us in the Cook County Bar together.
I thought we will do that.
Okay, I'm holding you to that. Then y'all heard it here on Family Meeting. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
My name is Charles Hilson. I'm with GBG Insurance. The website is www.gbgins.com. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualityoflifeinsurance.com.
Whether you're repairing a lamp or preparing for your future, you need the right tools. Quality of Life Insurance is there for your family if you die, but it can also provide benefits if you're disabled or if you suffer a serious illness or injury. Talk to your local agent to shed a little light on life insurance you don't have to die to use.
To find out,
Eric.
95
I have Tommy back on the line. He wants to address something right quick.
for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
This is Richard Chu, owner of First Capital Insurance Group, and my message is do what is doable. We each have a different measure of financial success. My mission is to help you define your financial goals in light of a realistic budget and time horizon. I want you to have a great year and a great life, but we have to keep it real. Is your retirement plan giving you the protection, interest rate, and cash you'll need in retirement? If you've had issues with your 401k, IRA, or other financial programs, give us a call. We have proven solutions and we can help. My direct number is 312-243-3907. Let's talk soon, or visit my website, firstcig.com. That's the number 1, stcig.com.
I'm Daryl Dean, the CEO of DNA Credit Card Processing Services. What we do is we set businesses up to accept all forms of payment. Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. We do that online. We do that with free equipment, whether it's stationary or if it's POS systems, cash registers, we do it all. You can find us on DNACreditCardProcessingServices.com. Any business out there that wants to process credit cards should pick up that phone and call us at 708-890-2895.
My name is Sharon Cooper, and I am the sister of Sandra Bland. I am a Chicagoland business professional working in the professional services field. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Yeah. So Tressa came in here hawking her little bath bombs. You take baths? You take baths, Arlene?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I love that.
She'd be happy to hear that.
I'm extremely happy to hear that because I'm up against something in here with these two.
Grown men don't.
All right, that seemed like a question. It seemed like you shouldn't ask a woman, do you take a bath, Eric?
Too late. I already did.
I mean, you're supposed to just ask the men that. It's supposed to be.
I'm not asking no grown man if you take a bath.
I mean, because you
I'm
don't
not
want to
doing
see.
that.
I'm just saying.
Hey, Rob,
you don't
you
want to
take
see
baths,
a woman.
brother?
You asked me last week. That's how I told you. You know.
No. But listen to how I said it. Hey, Rob, you take baths, brother?
No, don't say it like
I'm
that.
just saying.
Don't do that. It's your second time, but that's two, man.
Okay, don't do it again.
Yeah, that's it now. Okay.
I'm trying to help my girl here hawk her little bath bombs.
Well, if you really want to help Eric, go home and take a bath and then come back and
The only way that would help is if I had a
how
video.
wonderful it was.
I'm not taking no bath. I'll tell you what I can do for you. I can lie and say I took a bath. Yeah. Bro, man, I got to get up and get going. I ain't got time to be soaking in no bath.
Goal. That is my goal for
Yeah.
the rest of my life. I am going to get Eric Grant.
Right.
Okay, let's stop with that then, because I can't see you trying to wrestle me into no bathtub like I'm 3 years old. Something wrong with you,
I
girl.
think there's some deep-seated underlying issues there.
There's grown man responsibility.
You look like you don't take a bath. Though. You do look like that.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, if you was to have a look that didn't look like it took a bath, you got that look.
Thank you. That's how I want to look, like a grown man.
You got a face for radio, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that too.
Good. You got a face for
I was
radio.
gonna say, man. Did I say your mama yet? I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'm just
beautiful
saying.
woman.
Right, yeah.
Beautiful woman. I enjoyed my mama this weekend. She cooked some breakfast this morning.
She got down, huh? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, girl.
Mm.
I ain't taking no bath, so get out of here. All right?
Ever?
Okay. No. I'm taking no bath, man. You got no time. No
You
bath.
see what I be up against in here?
Hey.
Arlene?
I see.
They
This-
do. Oh my goodness.
They nothing. You be a victim all of a sudden. Now you a victim because I ain't gonna take a bath. Now you a victim. Really? You up against it?
Right, but he's making me change my answer. See, I used to agree with him, but I take showers instead of bath. I think I'm gonna answer the question like that.
That's a good answer.
You know, I take showers instead of baths. I prefer showers. He making it sound like we don't wash up. You making it sound like we don't cleanse ourselves.
No, I think we know better than that. I really do think we know better than that. Yeah. I just ain't got no time for no bath. But okay. So are we done with the bath talk now?
Yeah, you brought it up.
Well, she wants to get it in. So, you know, she's trying to go to her site. What's that site again? That crazy site you?
MRSNDEXPO.com.
Isn't that a crazy site, Arlene?
Yeah, that's
you can't even remember that.
Yes, you can. It's
No.
short for Mrs. Indecent Exposure. MRSNDEXPO.
No. I'm still like, I ain't with it. It's just it ain't rhythm. It ain't rhythmic in my head. I can't.
That's funny.
All right, just how about bath.com or something like that? Try that. That's easier to remember.
Oh
He's forever trying to get me to change something.
You gotta change your site.
I love it though. I love it. He challenges me. I love it.
Yeah. All right, whatever. Thanks, man. Okay, so let's get a few calls here out of the way. I know you guys have been holding. So y'all done made Tommy mad, so he got something else to say. Tommy, what's on your mind, man?
Let me address something real quick. You know, the whole thing in Tommy's rant, if you listen to it, it's got an absolute lot of sense to it. Because you see, watch this. How eloquently have we spoken out aloud and said, sirs, you are unjustly shooting us. You are unjustly unemploying us. You are unjustly destabilizing our communities. And all because the color of our skin and not the content of our character. Please, sir, could you just stop it? Oh, you're a very passionate, powerful speaking person. But guess what? When they messed around and shot Dr. King, and the United States of America was on fire, and Johnson looked out that window, he couldn't find enough damn pens quick enough to sign the Civil Rights Bill. Am I advocating violence? Absolutely not. But the will of the people must stand aloud and abreast, 2 by 2, no matter what color that you are. That any time you can subscribe to videos and any time you can subscribe to a notion called justice and then deny it on technicalities like, did you hear what I just said? Did that even make sense? Technicalities on trying to supposedly get it right? And you can hold people and take them and erase their whole lives for being so-called being there just on the scene, having had nothing to do with anything. Did Rakia Boyd deserve to die like that? Did Miss Bland deserve to die like that? If there is no overseer of the people who oversee, then what is left? I mean, come on, people. At some point, you got to say, damn, I ain't got nothing left to do but rant. Goodbye.
My man Tom.
Hey, Tommy, that's what's up, man.
My man Tom.
With that, that was definitely the truth.
Yeah.
Did he say he takes baths too?
You know what?
Anyway.
I'm just asking.
Mr. Bland.
Yeah.
No,
So
not today.
No, I appreciate that call from Tommy.
yeah. So let me get a couple of calls in here. Let me start with Matt in Chicago. Matt, what's up, man?
Hey, gentlemen and ladies, and Lady B, how is everyone?
Lady B got a shout out. She said hi. She can't. They don't give her microphones to Puerto Ricans around here.
They don't give her a mic. You won't take a bath. I mean, good Lord.
What is really
What's the
going
life
on?
coming to?
really
right?
going
What's it coming to?
But,
I could
you
give
know,
Lady B a
originally-
mic in the bathtub if you want.
You know, we're on air, and I don't know how to respond to that, so I'm getting mine done.
Okay.
But I originally called about Mr. You know what? I'm not even going to say his name, so let's just call him Mr.
Chump?
Mr. Big Hair. Mr. Big Hair.
Okay.
Yes. I just try not to say his name unless I have to. I feel like I'm summoning Bloody Mary. But I'm going to date myself here. In 2002, I went to Washington on an 8th grade class trip. And of all the judges we could have met with, we ended up meeting with Scalia. And even then, I knew that he was a bigoted, wrong. I'm trying to watch my language, so that's why it's coming out all chubby. Bigoted, wrong, awful man, and the fact that it's been 13 years since I've been on that trip with him. 13 years, and he is still in office. Out of anybody on that entire row of judges, he needs to go. Now, that I know they're on there for life until they decide to retire or they pass away, but there's got to be some loophole to get that man out of there, because even more than Trump, because the fact of the matter is Trump is a flash in the pan. Mind you, he's a very dangerous flash in the pan. However, when the dust settles and he's not president, he's gone. I mean, he'll probably just pop up and say stupid things, but Scalia is still going to be there, and we need to find a way to get him out of there.
Well, let's not imply that we're wishing him ill. But
no, I mean, I don't want that. I never, ever, ever want anybody ill, like to have ill, to get sick or anything. But the man needs to not be on that bench anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening, too.
You're welcome, folks.
Okay, take care. Let's get Andre calling from Chicago. Andre, what's up, man?
Hello, how you doing this evening?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, good. Thanks for taking the call, and hello to the young lady. I forget her name that you're speaking with, but hello to all of y'all.
That's Arlene Coleman, and he called you young lady, too. You like that?
I do. Is this Andre Grant?
No, it's not. This is Andre from Southside of Chi-Town.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but I just want to take something into the conversation tonight. And I'll start off with how black policemen have brought into this white supremacy narrative. You know, we don't like it when these white policemen shoot and do what they do, but the black officers have bought into this supremacy narrative, and they, to themselves, think they are superior over us and call us out of our name and stick barrels of guns down our throat and stuff like that to their own black people. So they brought us that narrative, and I've heard something that's disturbing over the weekend. I was listening to a program, and it had former Alderman Pat Dow over the police league there, and she made excuses for these white cops that's killing up blacks. She said the reason is that they've done 2 or 3 tours in Iraq, and they come back and they're hostile, and nothing has happened to deacclimate them back in society. Well, where was Iraq when they was hanging and killing them and killing, doing all of that stuff? So this is something that's purely based on race. Last thing, the Supreme Court. People always want to argue about the Bible not being truthful and what Jesus meant. Well, why don't they argue to the Supreme Court and see what the founding fathers meant? Because most of what's coming out of that Supreme Court is their own opinion. It has nothing to do with the Constitution.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andre. The Constitution in and of itself, I got big problems with the Constitution, mainly because of the age of the document and the mindset of the authors.
That's your point.
There's no reasonable way that, I mean, you can take the essence, the global meaning of it, but the actual implementation. Whenever I hear somebody say this is what the forefathers meant, I don't really care what they meant. Right? They were shooting musket balls and thought that black people were subhuman then. They couldn't even envision flight. You know, we fly now. We fly planes. Internet, weapons that shoot long distances, all the modern amenities. They had no concept of this stuff.
Well, you're talking about more as far as the racial aspect of it, not the
the
civility.
Whole
I'm talking
thing.
about because even the Constitution in and of itself that was written for their own civility, their thought of civility. So a person is writing a document for themselves is have all of the amenities in a document that they think will make a civil society. So that intent of it, would be, wouldn't be bad, would it?
It's not bad. It's
not bad.
It's good. I mean,
but you can't keep saying this is what they meant. It doesn't matter what they meant as much as it did then. It can't.
The Constitution, though, is a living document. It is flexible and breathing.
You think so?
I do, because the basic principles, as Robert said, stand for liberty and freedom and justice. And we have been able to use those words in order to open doors and opportunities for African Americans.
Well, no, you may have me wrong then.
Okay,
because
I may
I agree with you
misunderstand.
that to the extent we can amend it, we can always change it.
Yes.
But don't tell me what they meant.
Back then, it's not so.
It's not even relevant
it's
what
not
they meant.
so
Right.
relevant. No, I would kind of agree with you.
They were riding mules to work, man.
Well, yeah. But in terms of,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, to your point about back then that Black people were not considered a total human being.
Right. Right.
That's or subhuman, I think was the phrase you used.
Yeah.
I think some
Black
people-
babies were alligator bait. Are you kidding?
I was going to say maybe not to the alligator bait comment, but some people do continue to believe that Black people are substandard, that we are less than.
It's that 43% that agree with Trump.
Exactly.
It's the otherism that's always existed in this country.
And I was reminded of there's an African proverb that says, when deeds speak, words mean nothing. And I think that we have to look at the deeds and actions of people in order to put things in a context that is more focused on what are we doing here? What are we going to do? What are we going to do about this? Because people can say anything. You can write anything. But if it's nothing happening behind that, then it really doesn't mean a whole lot.
I wanted you to finish your point. What you saying about the Constitution? It seemed like you finished your point when you was talking about you don't want to hear what the authors meant. I just want you to elaborate on the other side of the break.
It doesn't matter to me what the authors meant. The document, the living document, is important. The essence of the document, but what they intended can't possibly be a relevant thing.
Because of what?
Because
of the way it's certain
because they couldn't possibly have vision around the modern amenities and technology that we have now. They couldn't possibly have that. Right. So don't tell me what they meant.
Your point.
Right. Because they also meant for us to be alligator bait. Don't tell me you can't parse what they meant. It's a different era. Don't squint at me like that. You say my mother, she's squinting at me. You see her squinting at me?
No, I understand. I
it's an interesting point.
It's
interesting. I never heard that like that. That's pretty good.
Like that.
You actually seem like you think. That's
Do
pretty
I?
good. Yeah.
I still ain't taking nobody. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
I'm Darlene Oliver from Public Ally Chicago. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Imagine a job where someone cares about you, your family, and your coworkers, and will sign a contract to that effect. That is what a union actually does for you. We've all heard the bashing, the insults, and hatred directed toward unions by powerful political elites and wealthy business bosses. For more information about your job interests, call SEIU Local 73 and ask for Tim Ball, 312-787-5868. Again, that number is 312-787-5868.
The Law Office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you. Whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9-LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck. You better call Darnell. Had a few drinks too many? A cop hits you with a DUI or OWI? You better call Darnell. Arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony? I think you better call Darnell. Purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm? I think you better call Darnell. When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home? I think you better call Darnell. That's right, you better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now, 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles.
It's a short.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITSASHORT.com. We have wonderful success stories. A lot of our artists are sort of award-winning short film makers, and they go on to become feature-length filmmakers or, actors in TV series, or some of the major blockbuster films that are out now. So there's a lot of our artists that you will see in sort of, Academy Award-winning feature-length films. And we also have like Marshall Curry is an Academy Award-winning documentarian. So we have that caliber of artist on our platform. Our subscription, we are a subscription-based service, but your first month is free. And if you happen to be an artist, there is no subscription fee for you. Our subscription is $2 a month or $20 for the year, which entitles you to be able to see all of these amazing short film, video, and web series. There is always a discount for Family Meeting. Just simply when you register, use the promo code FAMILY, and you will be granted a free 1-year subscription.
This is Rodney Harrington. Welcome back to the Family Meeting. So, last segment. Arlene.
Yes, Eric.
You do, girl.
I'm good.
So Arlene calls me this morning. She's like, you have talking points? She think we like we planned this, or something.
Oh, and you told me, you know what? It's just like sitting in your living room talking. So you were true.
Look at it. See all the papers, and she brought all the notes and
Just
stuff.
I'm a lawyer. This is what we prepare for things, and we write things, and we research.
But you ain't no lawyer today. You Arlene today.
All right.
I told her that today. I said you Arlene.
And I appreciate that. You really, I really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much.
What? You guys say something?
No, I agree. Same thing. When I first was invited on the show, I said, I'm going to go home and prepare for this. He said, no. Would you prepare if I invited you over for a barbecue?
Right.
You wouldn't run home and prepare. He says, we're just going to have a conversation. And I love that. That's what I love about this show.
Right.
We just have conversations and it just flows.
It flows. It's free flowing.
And it's amazing that before we went to break, we were talking about the Constitution. My fiance Lloyd and I were sitting around. We were having the same exact conversation about the Constitution.
You guys are visionaries.
No, I'm
you and Lloyd are
very
visionaries.
honest with you. And one of the things that he pointed out to me, which I probably knew, but I just never really realized and just thought about it. The word God doesn't appear one time in the Constitution. It only appears in the Pledge of Allegiance. And in the Pledge of Allegiance, it says one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
we know what it says
for all. So having...
I'm glad to see you didn't just do that to me.
He does it.
He sounded like we didn't know what it meant.
No,
he's like we never heard it
his
before.
DNA is kind of sarcastic.
This is who he is.
Yeah. You should say it like we didn't know what it was. Like we forgot.
Saying it like that.
I was just with regards to that, to give, talk about, Eric, what you said about the mindset of the ones that wrote the Constitution. If it's not, it's my understanding that they were atheists.
Wow.
Okay.
So,
big piece
well, not all of them.
Well, maybe not all of them, but a majority of them that actually, authored the Constitution.
Because Thomas Jefferson he's the author of the Declaration of
Independence. Yeah, he did the Declaration of Independence.
Right. So
so those 15 Bill of Rights. How do we speak to the mindset of them when they were writing those, and what was the mindset? So that's why you said what you said. You can't speak to their mindset because, like Arlene said, the Constitution is a living item. It goes on and it's been changing, and we've amended it, but the basis of the Constitution is still there. So how do we, as people that live in a nation that say that they abide by the Constitution, how do we as a people, when we see these injustices that are totally against the Constitution, how do we fight against that?
But we don't know that they're totally against the Constitution because we don't know the mindset of those people. It's a living document. We define if it's against the Constitution.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what the court does.
That's what the court does.
The crazy ass court, right?
The ones that the president appoints, and we didn't vote, so that's why.
And so then we have a gentleman sitting on the highest court in the land, and we can speak to his mindset because we've heard his mindset. So how does he objectively impart impartiality and strictly rule on the basis of the Constitution when his mindset tells him to do something different?
It's his interpretation, and your interpretation is colored by your perception, who you are. So he's been consistent.
Absolutely.
Yes, and he's done
Consistently racist.
He's done
Right.
what he was supposed to do.
I saw him on 60 Minutes one time, and I think he was talking to, it was Ed Bradley, I think was the guy of 60 Minutes he was talking to. And he's like, well, I don't really care what you think, because I'm right. He just said, I'm right. I don't care what you think.
This is a whole area of law that people specialize in, practice, study, interpret. It's fascinating. Constitutional law and the interpretation of constitutional precedent cases.
Well, one thing about me is I love history.
I could tell.
Thank you. And I read a lot. That's what prompted me to read about the congressional. It wasn't really it wasn't a word for word transcript. It was a description of the discussion around lynching. And it was amazing. It was amazing to hear that people thought that way about what was going on to Black people in the country at that time, and juxtapose it against the pictures we see of Black people who've been having their start. There was one woman I see who I hate the picture, but she was pregnant, and they weren't sure if it was a white man that impregnated her. So they lynched her, cut the baby out to see while she was alive. So, and then you got people in Congress who are filibustering laws to prevent that from happening.
I'm just curious, when you were reading that history, I think Ida B. Wells did testify at those congressional hearings. I'm going to check that.
There was several of them.
Yeah.
Over the course of about 15 years.
Yes.
It kept coming up. And the Congress actually passed a anti-lynching law, and the Senate filibustered it. It's amazing how they think that way.
Why would that even be necessary to pass an anti-lynching law?
Right. Exactly. Right. And that's why I always, and Rob hates this, when I push back and I say, well, we've made progress. No. We ain't made no progress. What we have is we got back what we should have had in the first damn place. Progress comes after we get what we're supposed to have back.
I guess that's also why I always zoom in on, I guess, forums like when you always speak against religion, or wherever people get their morals from, whatever.
Don't do that to me.
Whatever deity people choose to use to get their morals from, because you speak in a way, to suggest, okay, what common sense is. But I don't understand, if you don't understand where people get their moral fibers from, how can you determine what common sense is? Because that's how democracy is really formed. Everybody's opinion, everybody's perspective, you can constantly and consistently change if you don't understand where or how to identify where people get their moral fibers from, specifically where they get them from. So when you push back on certain forms of religion and stuff like that, or forms of religion,
now
I'm just unclear.
You're mischaracterizing me, because I push back on organized religion and the hypocrisy that religions tend to allow to exist.
Right.
These ISIS clowns.
Okay.
Yes.
Hypocrisy at the highest level, because Islam and Christianity and Buddhism, none of them espouse what they're talking about. So they are organized religion, and they allow that festering stupidity to exist. It happens in the Catholic Church, where you got these preachers molesting little children.
Yes.
It's hypocrisy.
Right, I get it.
It's organized religion. So I think that the faithful who follow their religion individually, who go to church and expect these so-called leaders of these religions to behave, that they're on point. It's these crazy ass leaders who organize the religion and monetize it that I think create the problem.
I see your point.
I so agree with you on that. Yep.
Well, somebody does.
I just
totally agree.
Yeah, I still don't see how we can ever come to some type of a collective agreement about what an appropriate form of government would be if we didn't really draw a line in the sand, whether it be individually or whether you be influential. Somewhere along the line, we got to come into some kind of agreement about what if killing is wrong or if
Yeah, but
stealing
I
is
think- I
wrong.
think
I
all
mean,
the
so
religions believe that, though.
however we determine it, though, it still has got to come.
Yeah, but
through a-
everybody believes that, though, right? Everybody
No,
believes killing is
I mean,
bad.
however we came to believe it, it had to become some type of collective moralistic.
I think it's humanity.
Point. It ain't humanity. It's
It
too
is-
up in the air to say that. It's
no,
too
it's
up in
not.
the air.
Though. It's not against human nature to not take a life. It's against your nature to take someone's life. It just is. It is in your nature as a mother to do certain things for your child. When you begin to act outside of that,
Well, you'll protect your life. That's killing. I mean, if you came in with the wrong intent, that my perception
but
of
you're
the
acting
wrong
against your humanity, though.
Right.
You're acting against your humanity.
How you figure that?
Because human nature.
That is your human nature to
But
protect.
even animals protect their children.
Right. Okay.
Right? It's
So
part
not-
of their nature.
Right.
Right.
It's part of your nature.
Well, we have a nature. You can't try to bite your hand. Try to draw blood on your hand. Can you do that? It's against your nature.
Okay.
Right. That's human nature. So
Mhm.
there are certain orders of human nature, I think, that people used to author all the books and all the writings around religion. But it's still human nature. I think that's the essence of who we are. We don't harm people unless you done lost your damn mind.
Mhm.
You just don't.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. You know, we got one more call here. I got to give him a minute. Let me get Ken here. Hey, Ken, I'm sorry. Oh, let me hit it again. Hey, Ken.
Yeah, I wanted to express my appreciation to Arlene and the Chicago Bar Association for protecting the rights of all the people of Illinois, despite their whatever color. I'm a retired prosecutor, as you know, and when I was in law school in the late 70s, there was an attempt to have what they called merit selection of judges. And what that would be a specialized group. The Illinois Bar Association would submit a list of names to Jim Thompson to appoint judges all over the state. Well, there was a debate on WTTW, which was the predecessor of public radio in Chicago, between the head of the Chicago Bar Association and the Cook County Bar Association. And of course, the Chicago Bar wanted the political appointment of judges because they'd get their people in on it, and the Chicago Bar Association wanted judges elected because they were getting judges elected on the South Side. And through their efforts and the efforts of the Black Caucus, they managed to defeat that effort. And that was the last big push for that. And I think your audience should know also that the Chicago Bar Association exists, or I mean the Cook County Bar Association exists, because the Chicago Bar Association wouldn't admit blacks.
Yeah. Hey, Ken, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the input, and I'm sure Arlene thanks
Yes,
you.
thank you, Ken, for that comment.
Absolutely.
That's a
Yeah.
whole nother show to talk about. And
So
that,
now she's scheduling our shows.
No, I know,
Attorneys
but
always
it-
got to
but-
be in charge of something.
Two shows. That's two shows. Since she's been
You
on.
got to be in charge of something. Y'all always
I'm
got
just
notes.
saying,
and
I'm
y'all
Yeah,
just
that's
plan.
saying,
another
I'm
show.
just
That's
saying.
another show.
No, a discussion.
Whole nother show. We got two whole nother shows now, Arlene. All right.
Well, you told her to come like a regular discussion.
Yeah,
This is
so
how a
yeah.
regular personality is.
Wait a minute. I might have agreed too quickly on that one.
That voice you hear there is the soon-to-be radio voice of Arlene Coleman. She's
There you
going to
go.
have a radio show.
There you go.
Right?
We speak it, you claim it.
Yes, I claim.
That's some more religious stuff. I ain't finna do that. But that's okay. Yeah, we're
Well,
going
she
to claim it
claimed it
for you.
earlier. We heard it earlier. She
Yeah.
claimed it. I heard it. See,
Yeah.
I got an ear for it.
Wow. You gotta do that now? That's what I got to do now?
I'm gonna touch and agree in the spirit. But
There you
already
go.
know touch and agree.
There you go. See what I'm
There you
saying?
go. We touched and agreed.
Y'all ain't nothing but crazy, man. Thank you, Arlene, for being here.
Thank you for
I hope
having
people were
me.
listening. Were they texting you or something?
Yeah, some people were texting. There's a lot going on over here.
Okay, well, they should holler at us. They call us and holler at us. Next
Well-
time, call. Don't be a punk. Call us.
Mhm.
Clean.
I'm
Right.
gonna call in too.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
I hope that you.
Rob, what you got, man?
Racism does not have a good track record. It's been tried for a long time, and you think by now we want to put an end to it instead of putting it under new management.
Who said that?
Thomas Sowell.
Thomas Sowell. How come I know that name?
He
Sowell
was
got to be a stage name. He's a dancer or something.
no Thomas Sowell. He was a economist, social
I like
commentator.
that. Lady B, thank you, girl. Tressa, thanks for the news.
No problem.
Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I'm your host, Eric Grant. You know what I say. Peace.